This is Giants baseball. Told straight. You're listening to NorCal Sports Network. No homers, no casuals. Just truth. Let's go!
All right, everybody, welcome on in. NorCal Sports Network. Welcome to the show. And we're going to be talking a little bit about the closers tonight. That's right, closing baseball, closing with the closers. Who's going to be the closer of the San Francisco Giants this year? Maybe one of the most important positions in all of the baseball and the whole team, this particularly a team like this, and we're going to get into it. So let's get right into it. We'll get into our sponsors a little bit later in the show. But if you saw the thumbnail, guys, let me see if I can pull the – do I have the thumbnail? Well, you saw it on the cover. If you guys didn't know who those guys are from left to right, that is well, let me see if I can just pull this up here. I'll give you guys a little photo of the thumbnail. We'll just put that right on the screen here. Okay, there you go. Who will be the San Francisco Giants closer for 2026? On the left, Ryan Walker. Then it's Michael Fulmer, former Rookie of the Year for the Tigers. It's been about 10 years, though. Then you've got former number one draft pick Will Bednar there, number 17. And then Trent Harris with the cool jersey. Look at that. What is that? That must have been in Oregon when he was playing in Eugene. But there you go. So, or the question mark, could it be somebody entirely different? We'll see who becomes the closer. But Dallas, Walker was the closer in 24, had a really good year, came out of nowhere, really, right? Nobody heard of Ryan Walker as a closer. And then last year, you know,
he was not the closer the whole year, though, right?
No, Duvall
took
started
the job
off.
eventually.
He took it from Duvall, and then he was very reliable. And then last year he was just, you know, kind of like Trent Harris's jersey there, you know, just green sputum. It was just bad. So this is a position where a lot of guys come from nowhere, right? They become names overnight, some of these closers. They just, like, all of a sudden, you know, hey, it happened with Camilo Duvall. He wasn't like anything. He just kind of came on in 21, and there he was blowing the game to the Dodgers because he wouldn't he refused to throw a fastball. He wanted to keep throwing that stupid slider to Cody Bellinger. But, you know, he came from nowhere, became a pretty decent closer, was an all-star. And you look at a lot of closers around baseball and you get a little bit hot as a closer. You get 2-3 saves in a row, and all of a sudden confidence grows. Manager gets confidence in you, and then all of a sudden, you know, 2 weeks later, you're on the radar as one of the better closers in the game currently. So who knows? What's your thoughts on this? Who do you? I think personally, Walker has the inside shot, but nothing says that I think it might be one of the most open competitions in spring training this year.
Sure. So my guy is well, you hear a lot of names thrown around, but I like Peguero, Yoel Peguero. Now has control issues at some times, but of all the Giants relievers, he's got the like classic closer stuff where he can come in and throw 101 miles an hour. He's got the gas, and you know, maybe when someone throws that hard, there's that intimidation factor when they're coming into the game. You know, they can kind of fit into that closer role. So he looks the part for me. He throws like the part. It's just a matter of does he have the command. And there have been closers that have been a little wild. You want a guy. The good ones come in and just throw darts and you're out of it. But over the years, there's certainly been closers where sometimes you don't know where the ball's going all the time. So he's an option. I've heard Hayden Birdsong's name mentioned for the closer role. You're muted, Dan. Or
I think it was broken on NorCal Sports Network by Genuine SF. Genuine SF said Birdie. I think that's where you heard it right there. That's where you heard it. Right? Just right there. You didn't hear it.
No, I've heard it before.
No,
people have been talking.
No, just Jen Yin. Got it. We're having some fun, obviously.
Now, I don't agree with it. I think I like him as a starter. I think that would be a waste of his talents. Why have him pitch 1 inning when he can pitch 6 innings? So I'm not ready to just relegate Birdsong to the bullpen yet. I would rather have him either in long relief if you're going to have him be a reliever, but I would almost rather have him just pitch in AAA till he's ready and then bring him up when there's a spot for him. But that's not necessarily the case. I mean, if you open it up in spring training and say, hey, this 5th starter spot, it's anyone's, whoever pitches the best, it's their spot, so, don't just award it to Landon Roop. Make him beat out all the other people. Malley, Hauser, Roop, Birdsong, Tidwell, whoever you want to have in the mix, let that last place go to the last 2 places go to the pitchers that warrant it.
George says, how about trying Bednar as a closer? If he can gain his control, he throws 98, has a nasty splitter and a nasty slider. If he's healthy, I would try him. Well, George, can you recognize where David Bednar is on the screen? Do you see David Bednar anywhere, George? Let's see if George knows his visuals. He knows the name, but does he see David Bednar on the screen? Yes, David Bednar right there, number 17, everybody. I threw him in there because he is my dark horse. He's my sleeper pick to be the closer at some point. I don't believe he will be the closer out of camp.
But you see that he did get a non-roster invitee.
He did. That's why I've got him up
here.
He'll
be there in Scottsdale. He'll be ready. He'll be in the mix.
From left to right, Ryan Walker, the incumbent. Michael Fulmer, an invite. Will Bednar, number 17, an invite. And then Trent Harris, an invite. I think this position is so wide open that if Ryan Walker struggles in spring training and gets rocked, and guys like Bednar or Fulmer or Harris or Peguero or whoever not named Ryan Walker is consistently going out there and getting outs and not putting a lot of runners on base, that could become your closer.
Yeah, it'll be. I mean, there's a lot of different ways they can go. And if you want to bring up that list of the non-roster invitees, there's several pitchers on there.
I shall do that. Let me do this 1 second here, and let me pull up my Twitter. Okay, let's go here. And okay, there we go. I had commented on this that I thought Bednar, Harris, even Killian, Santos, Juan Sanchez. I don't think he's up for the closer, but some of these guys that are on here, let's take a look at the pitchers who were invited. Will Bednar, who I'm surprised they didn't protect in the Rule 5 draft, but they did not, and they were fortunate. I think this guy gets his control. He's got nasty stuff. He will become a really good closer. I'm predicting that Will Bednar is going to be a closer for the Giants at some point in 2026. I don't know if it's May or June. If he has a great camp, like I said, look, going from AA, he did get a little AAA, but going from AA to the majors is not that big of a deal. Look at what Trent Usavage, or not Trent Usavage, what's his Trey Usavage did. Started in A-ball last year and ended up pitching Game 7 in the World Series. So, guys, if you've got good stuff and you can just go out there and throw for one inning, remember, Bednar was a starter in his career in college and pitched, was it Mississippi or Mississippi State? I think it was Mississippi State to the World Series championship for college baseball. George says, sorry, all the white guys look alike. I'm all seriousness. I don't remember what he looked like. Yeah. Walker should pitch the 7th. That's where he excels, like Tyler Rogers excelled in the 8th. Well, yeah, it will be interesting to see where these guys go. I mean, Fulmer's got some good stuff. He was in AAA all last year. Trent Harris, they really like. He's got closer mentality. Killian, remember, he was in that Chris Bryant trade. You got two lefties, Nick Marceviges. I'm sorry, Nick. I'm not
Margavicius or Margavicius.
Yeah. Yeah. Nick M. Wilkin Ramos, no relation to Elliott. Juan Sanchez, and then Gregory Santos was also traded. Wasn't he in that? Was he in that Seattle trade, or was he in he was in one of the trades anyway? He's back. He's got some pretty good stuff. If he can, he's got kind of late inning relief kind of stuff. So I think this bullpen's wide open. I mean, Spencer Bivens, he might. We don't know what Bivens. You don't know what to expect from a guy like Bivens. Could he regress? Absolutely.
He's done it for 2 years in a row now. So
right.
He's starting to, he's been solid for the last 2 years, and he's starting to carve out a spot for himself.
Yeah.
He never doesn't really blow anyone away as far as like impressive stuff or anything, but for some reason he gets guys out.
Now, I don't see anybody on this non-roster making the team other than one or two of these pitchers, if any of them. Okay, I don't see any outfielders making it. Too young, Davidson, but he's close. Infielders, I don't see any infielders unless Parks Harbor has some incredible spring and there's injuries somewhere, maybe. But
I doubt it.
I doubt it too. Catchers, don't see it.
Even if he hits great and he's, I still think they want to get him some seasoning in AAA.
Yeah. Now, Diego Cartaya is an interesting case. He was the number 14 prospect in all of baseball, the Dodgers' number 1 prospect, and he was released by the Dodgers. Check that out, man. It just goes to show you that prospects are suspects until proven otherwise, right?
Yeah. But they really like Jesus Rodriguez. Daniel Susek has the inside track because he's a Rule 5 guy. So they would have to leapfrog those two guys to be in the mix.
Yeah. So there's your list. Aaron says, I could have done without Arise and put that money toward a solid pen arm. I would have put the money into Framber Valdez personally. If you're not going to, I think pitching is, we talked about it. I guess I was on by myself last night. Yeah. I I think pitching is so critical in baseball that if you don't have it, you really lose a golden opportunity to see. The reason I liked Valdez, Dallas, is what's the weak point of this Giants team?
Well,
the bullpen.
The bullpen.
Right. So now if you have Webb
but the
Framber,
rotation's thin also.
But if you added Framber and you had Webb going, those are two guys that can give you 7 innings. What happens if they go back-to-back nights of give you 7 innings and they give your bullpen a complete reprieve of a couple of days off?
No, you're preaching to the choir here.
And this is what's frustrated me because I don't understand why a front office doesn't get that and see that. You cannot tax your bullpen and be there in September. You might be there on the 1st of September, but you're fading because those guys get really tired because they put so much pressure on these guys.
Yeah. I think you're going to see a lot of guys. You're going to see guys coming up and going down. They're going to be rotating in some of these guys to be able to eat innings because there's just, I don't think on the starting staff, there isn't enough innings in those arms to cover it enough. Yeah. So the bullpen will be taxed. And so they're going to have to go pretty deep on these guys to be able to cover it, I think.
Yeah. I think, by the way, guys, want to thank everybody who helped us, who's part of the show and has been here. Some of you have been here from the very beginning, and I just wanted to point out to you guys that NorCal Sports Network it's going to show up here. I don't know. There we go. That's not what I want. Real time. Okay, that's what I want. Hold on here. Let me pull this up. I want to give everybody a shout out that is part of the show. We have reached 6,000 subs right on the nose. 6,000 subs for NorCal Sports Network. Appreciate everyone who has been here for a long time. Also the new people. So we made it to 6K, onward and upward to 10K. I think we will be there shortly. I see you says, is Dan choppy? Or
you're good, Dan. It's just my connection.
Oh, okay. Okay. So anyway, we're cruising along at 6,000 subs, and we'll figure a way to get our numbers up there a little bit more. Gravy, I just unsubbed. Now we're at $5.99. That's pretty funny. So anybody out there have a like a cough that has lingered for weeks and weeks? I cannot kick this thing. I had it 2 weeks prior to my hip surgery. Now I'm 3 weeks post-surgery, and I still got it. 5 weeks. Now my brother told me he had one for about 6 weeks, and it just finally went away. Anybody else out there had a like a nagging cough? Nothing like serious. You don't feel sick or anything, but it just can't get rid of the the cough. I don't know. Dallas will be right back in. He had a little bit of a connection issue, so he will be right back on. All right, and there he is. He's back on.
There we go. That's better.
Yeah, Buster trading for Alcantara of the Marlins. Maybe. Let's get back to this bullpen because how many subs were from those 1130 Billboard's top 10 of 1974 segments? Oh my gosh. Those are the days, huh? Let's see. How many subs? So this bullpen we know that the lefties are probably going to be Eric Miller, and we've got Gage, right?
Gage.
Let me pull up their roster here, see if I can do that. SF Giants.
And you've got Henches.
Sam Henches, yeah. Why can't, let me see. Here we go. Let's see if I can pull this up.
And San
here.
Martin.
Roster. Now, don't do that to me. See, everything's on my phone, and I don't know exactly how to pull up the same page on my laptop here. But spring training is upon us, guys. It's right around the corner. You know, these guys are all here. It's not like it used to be, guys, where got a new light? No, same old light. It's not like it used to be where pitchers and catchers would report, and then all of a sudden these position players would report they're due a few days later, and they would, just show up, at the last minute, and they'd move into camp, show up. These guys are down here in Arizona practically
some have been there all off season. A lot of them are there now.
Yeah. A lot of guys have been here working out since, December. And that's kind of how Casey found out he needed to have surgery. Remember, he was on our show and he didn't have any issues at that point. But then as he was swinging the bat, he realized it just wasn't going to heal up. It was going to be a problem. Some people ask, well, why did he have surgery so late? I don't think he realized he needed surgery. Then he started his off-season hitting program, and he realized that there was pain there. So went and had it checked. And, I don't know if to me, that's probably something that the Giants training staff may have missed or something, but I don't know. Maybe he didn't say anything. I have no idea. So,
probably, optimism, thinking, well, it'll get better.
Right.
And then
rest will get it better, because he probably rested for a month, right? Probably didn't do anything in November. So, so Kopech, the closer after 2 weeks of spring training, if you don't have a legit closer, I wish we would use Walker and Henches in the 7th and Miller in the 8th and Kopech or Bednar in the 9th, says George. Yeah, we'll see where they go. Kopech would be good. He's got some good stuff, pretty good velocity. I kind of think that the bullpen, how many guys do you think are locked in? Let me just pull up, or is anybody safe really down there? I mean, you don't have anybody that's, you don't have a Tyler Rogers, right? You don't have a Duvall type guy that's even Duvall got sent down a couple of years ago, but
he had a spot until he lost it because he was really bad. The guys that make the money are going to they have to screw up pretty bad to be off the rotation, out of the bullpen.
Yeah. All right. Let's just look at the pitchers in the bullpen. Beck, he doesn't have a secure spot. No. Birdsong doesn't have
a secure spot on the 40, I don't think.
Yeah. Birdsong, I think he has a secure spot on the 40, but not on the 26.
Nope.
Bivens, I wouldn't say is a lock. He's got a better shot than most, but he's not a lock.
No, he's not. He's in a situation where he continually has to prove it.
Brubaker, I don't think he's a lock.
No, they paid him $1 million, but he probably I don't know. He might be a guy that they have in AAA, and then is he on a minor league contract? I think so.
Can't remember.
But I think because they see him as a starter that so he's either a long man. So if Bivens doesn't make it, then Brubaker might make it as the long reliever. But they might have him in AAA waiting to come up in case there's injuries.
Yeah.
Budo is pretty secure.
Yeah, I would say Budo looks like it probably got a spot. Foley's injured. Matt Gage, I would say he's got a pretty good shot, but if he has a bad spring, he's not a lock.
I think Matt Gage is not very secure because Henches probably beats him out if it's a tie.
Well, I think Henches and Miller have probably your
for
best
sure.
slot.
They have your lefty covered.
Yeah.
So there probably isn't even a room for Gage
at
this point unless someone starts sucking.
Yeah. Pagero, again, no lock.
No, he's not a lock. In fact, if he has to, if he pitches well, I think they'll like him. I mean, at least I like him. I want to have him on there. But he's in a situation where he's got to prove his keep, earn his keep. Yeah.
Reaver, I think it's pronounced Reaver or River San Martin.
Right.
I would say he's got a decent shot at making the club, but he's not a lock.
I mean, he's a lefty, so how many lefties you going to have?
I think they carry a minimum of 2, and I could see them carrying 3.
Yeah. So it'll be a competition between him and Gage for that third spot if they carry 3.
Yeah. And then you got the guys that are non-roster, right? Not Santos, but Sanchez and the guy's name I couldn't pronounce.
Sure.
Nick.
And you've got people that can slot in the bullpen like Keaton Wynn and starters that you might not use as starters like Tidwell or McDonald.
Yeah. Oh, Wisenhunt. There's another guy that Wisenhunt could be a bullpen guy if he has a really good spring. I think he's best suited for the bullpen. I would not even consider Carson Wisenhunt a starter. He doesn't have the repertoire to go more than one time through a batting order.
Well, if he comes in and he works with the new pitching coaches and he can add another pitch to his repertoire, then, you don't want to just say you're not a starter. Sorry, you're a bullpen guy and just, demote him to that. If he has the potential to start someday, because, he has trade value right now because he's a potential starter. If he's a bullpen guy, his trade value kind of, drops off.
Okay, so, Carson Seymour. He's no lock.
No,
Blade.
I just remember him giving up so many home runs in a couple of outings he had last year. That, I'm scared of Carson Seymour.
Yes, we need to see less of Carson Seymour. Let's say Blade Tidwell. I don't think he's a lock.
No, but he's a guy they probably want starting so that they can bring him up if, when they need a fill in.
Correct.
So the long guys, you've got Bivens and Brubaker. You've got Beck and Wynn. They're all guys that can give you some length, and Carson Seymour for that matter. But then you've got these starters that are.
I think I'm not going with that name anymore. It's Carson Sealess.
Sealess, okay.
Yeah.
And then you got Wisenhunt, Tidwell, Birdsong as starters that probably will do some starting this year. And do you want to have one of those guys come out of the pen because they can help the big league club right now, kind of like they had Birdsong in that role last year? When
it's interesting to me because I'm looking here and I see, okay, then you got Walker. I'm going down the list alphabetically in the bullpen. Walker's probably your biggest lock, closest thing to a lock on this team, even if he has a rough spring.
He'll be in the bullpen, yeah.
Yeah, even if he has a rough spring, he's going to be on the team. So,
yeah.
Okay, so Walker, and then you got Wisenhunt, and then Keaton Wynn, who's coming off. Let's see. Did they already make
No.
room for a rise yet on
Nope,
the 40?
he's not on the 40 man yet.
Okay, so let's predict. Okay, it's time for predict which player is off the roster here in the next day or two. I'm going to say it's either going to be, I don't think they got a trade up their sleeve of Fitzgerald or Schmidt or anything like that. I would be surprised.
I mean, Luis Matos probably has got to go.
I would not let Matos go before I let Encarnacion go. Matos, here's how you got to think. And this is what pisses me off with
right, but
organizations.
Matos has trade value, and Encarnacion, I don't think he does.
So let him go. He's going to come back. Let him go. If he's meant to be, what's that little thing? He'll come back to you, right? He'll come back to you as a
serendipity.
Yeah. Guys, how old is let me look here. I'll pull Encarnacion up. He was born 1997 October, so that makes him 29.
29. Yeah.
And Matos is born in 02, just turned 24. Come on. There's shouldn't even be a consideration.
It's about who you can get something for, though, because Matos will not make this team very likely.
Well, if you're going to trade him, fine. But I'm saying if you're going to release somebody, do not release Matos.
No,
before
exactly.
you release
They won't release
Matos.
I mean, I think Keaton Wynn.
Keaton Wynn could be go. Carson Seales could be a guy that you could say.
Yeah.
Come on. You got Tidwell. You've got Wynn. These guys are kind of duplicates of each other. You got Birdsong that are tall right-handers. You don't need a 6'6" guy who just grooves fastballs down the middle and gives up gophers on a regular basis.
Well, yeah, and Carson Seymour could clear waivers.
Right. I mean, come on. This is the time of year where, by the way, guys, if you haven't, let me answer this question from Senior. He asked, is the Waste Management Phoenix Open going on? Yes, it starts, I believe it started today. It's always, I haven't even heard much of it, but it's always huge. The week of the Super Bowl. Let me just see if they've got anything on that, because, hey, by the way, Matt Stafford won the MVP of the NFL tonight. Yes, the Scottsdale, TPC Scottsdale. It is the Waste Management Phoenix Open. It is underway, and that is probably the most wildest tournament on the tour. It's just insane. It's just the 16th hole is absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. It's just like Tiger Woods refused to play here because it was so out of control. I mean, it's just like, yeah. So anyway, all the Warriors are winning in the who cares Golden State Warriors Phoenix Suns game. So here's what I want to say, guys, about, and I'm not going to freak out if they let Matos go over Encarnacion or something like that, but front offices tend to don't think in terms of, okay, is Harar Encarnacion really a staple for the future of this franchise? Is he? No. Does he have a chance to be? Probably not. He's a guy that's a journeyman. Now, Matos, is he a staple? Probably not. Does he have a chance to be? More so than Encarnacion. That's how you have to think. Can Matos find it at 24? Absolutely. He could find it because he has the potential.
But for that spot, though, okay, bases are loaded. You have to pinch hit somebody. Do you pinch hit Encarnacion or Matos?
Oh, Matos, 100%. He's going to put the bat on the ball.
Okay.
You want a guy that strikes out 33%?
You're down by 4 runs.
Hey, Matos hit that home run in the Dodgers in the 9th inning, right? With 2 out, bottom of the 9th.
That's true. Yeah.
I
mean, they're not gonna cut their DFA Matos. It would be one of those things where they would find a trade for him, like they did. Who they just trade?
The Giants?
Yeah, they instead of cutting somebody, they traded him.
Oh, who was that? It was a pitcher. What was his name?
Yeah,
Kaiway.
We already forgot about him.
Wait. We, I think we did a special on Tang, and I think
we did a whole bit where we cried about him, and now we forgot him. There we go. Now I'm remembering all the good times we had. All those situations where the game was out of hand and we needed someone to eat some innings.
I already deleted his photo. We only have so much space in the files. And Kaiway, we'll save that the next cut. Maybe if it's Keaton Wynn or Carson Sealas or somebody like that moves on, we'll save that song for them and we'll give them a proper send-off.
We'll give him one of these.
Goodbye.
Wait, I found some new sounds as I was playing today. We've got the circus. Some of these I don't remember the names of these things. Got some just different. What's this one? Win the battle. What's this? Okay. Big Sky. Oh yeah.
Inspirational.
That's one of our closers. How about this
Optimism.
one? Oh, that's one of the originals. Yeah, one of the originals. So, we've got some kind of. We were playing around with openings tonight, guys. Did you hear the opening? Did anybody hear the opening tonight? You know what? Give us a quick vote. I'll play a quick couple of openings. We're just kicking some around right now. We're not. Give me
Insane Sports Takes wants the Super Bowl pick. I got the Seahawks. 23-13.
Seahawks. I'm taking the Seahawks. Yes. All right. Here's a couple. Here's what we opened up with tonight, everybody. Tell us your thoughts on this, and then I'll give you a second one, and you can give us a 1 or a 2. Here's number 1.
From the Bay. This is Giants baseball. Told straight. You're listening to NorCal Sports Network. No homers, no casuals. Just truth. Let's go! From the.
All right, there's number 1. All right, here's another opening that we're playing with. What do you think of this one? Number 2. This is an eye test. Number 1 or number 2? All right, there you go. A little sample of 1 and 2. Mark Graves. Yeah, we'll work on a country one for Mark Graves on the country side of things. Yeah. So, oh, man. Little Tony V. Okay. So, yeah, I got Seattle over the New England Pats. All right, Robert, what'd you think? 1 or 2? The Tony Victory song. I got to find that. Tony Victory. Maybe we'll close out with Tony Victory. Hang in there. Maybe Tony Victory. We're so close, guys. We're about 5 days away from spring camp. Yeah, we need to get Ned Coletti on. We'll get Ned on. We'll get Ned over here for sure. We'll do a little Ned Coletti on the bump. But yeah, go back to this pitching staff, Dallas. It's wide open, the bullpen. There's 8 slots most likely for the bullpen. You got 5 starters. You're probably carrying 13 and 13. You could go 14 and 12 to start the season because you got some off days. You got some funky scheduling in the beginning. We'll see where that goes. But out of the 8 relievers, as I look at, if I said, okay, there's 3 that are going to be on the team, and I think it's Bluto, that's 1. I think Henches 2, and Eric Miller 3, and Ryan Walker 4. Those are 4 slots that I think are as close to being locked up as possible. So that leaves 4 spots for guys like Wisenhunt and Wynn and Sam Martin and Peguero, and I don't think McDonald's in there. I think McDonald's going to be a starter in AAA. Henches. Did I already mention Henches is one of the locks?
You did, yeah.
I did. Okay. So then you got Gage, and you got Brubaker and Bivens and Beck and Birdsong. So,
all right. Well, we need a long guy. So who? I guess it depends on how Birdsong pitches.
Birdsong would be a guy. I would love to see Birdsong just go in there for an inning, man. Just rake. Just shut him down. Just go in there, 1-2 innings max. Just throw some heat. Find it, get your command, and be that 7th inning guy that could eventually maybe even become the closer. But you also want your closer to be a guy that has a fairly quick delivery. You don't want guys stealing bases on your closer because we all know what that's like. So you got Bivens could be a long guy. Wynn could be a long guy. I guess you can make Wisenhunt a long guy. Seymour could probably go 3 or 4. I mean, they got a lot of long guys. They don't have a lot of Taylor Rogers, and they don't have any of these guys like the core 4, right? I mean, when you said, okay, hey man, Jeremy Affeldt, go out there and get me an inning and a third. Go get me, Javi Lopez. I mean, you think about that. Then you had Castillo or Casilla. I mean, Santiago Casilla, and our righty, our guy that got the last out in the 2012 World Series, struck him out. What can't I think of my guy? I interviewed him. The guy that got the last out and struck out Miguel Cabrera, in 2012. Romo, thank you. It's like drawing a blank.
Romo, yeah.
Romo, yeah. You don't have any. You don't have guys like. Sometimes a name just goes right outside your. You got so many names you're coming up with, but anyway, let's. So that's the bullpen. Now, I think the starting lineup is obviously going to be first base, Devers, second, Arise, short, Adames, third, Chapman, left, Ramos, center, Bader, right field, Lee. Seems like there's probably no jobs available maybe, and then the DH is probably going to be a combination of Devers, Eldridge. I don't think they're going to make Eldridge like a sole. Like they might want to give Eldridge 30 to 40 games for the season at first base, just to, hey, you're going to play first base twice a week, right? Just to
Right.
keep you in your head in the game a little bit better, so you're not 6 months becoming a DH at 21.
Yeah, for sure.
And so
1 or 2 games a week, and then later in the season, if Devers is tired or whatever, wants to DH, then they can play him more if his defense is not a liability.
Yeah, and I would hope. I wish they would take an approach with Casey Schmidt, kind of like hockey does with their lines, right? These guys they bring them out. Keep Chapman fresh. How about playing Matt Chapman 140 games this year instead of 160? Okay. Give him some time off. Let him, you're talking 6 months. So you're talking 2 to 3 games a month. 3 games a month times 6, 18. Let's say he starts 144. Okay. Right in that range. Give him 3 days off. Give him a day off every 10 days. Okay. Give
Absolutely.
Chapman.
They should do that because he only played 128 games last year because of injury.
Yeah.
But if you had spelled him and kept him fresh, maybe that doesn't even reach that point.
Yes. And Adames, do the same thing for him. Maybe a little less because he's your shortstop. Let him play 145 to 150 games. Give him at least a day off every 2 weeks. Okay. Give these guys breaks. Second base, Arise, same thing. Give Casey should get to play in at least half the games. Okay. And then he's available to play in the others. If you want to keep guys fresh, this is what you have to do with a super utility guy. The Dodgers did it with Chris Taylor. We saw it with Kiki Hernandez. You got to do these guys. 6 months is a long, long season. And this is why guys start to falter in the second half because their bodies start to wear down. Some of them can't maintain the weight. It gets hot and humid on the road, and anywhere you travel outside of California, for the most part, it's going to get muggy in those July and August, especially those 2 months. So give guys breaks, let guys play, have a cohesive team. I think Tony will figure it out. I really do. I think he will figure it out.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. I don't know how fast he'll figure it out, but he will at some point. Aaron Lost, do they let Bryce hit against lefties? I sure hope they do. I don't think his splits are that bad anyway, but at age 21, if you start making him only hit against righties, then he's not getting any practice against lefties.
Right.
So you're stunting his development by doing that.
Exactly.
So if you're 21, there should be no platoons. There should be no, maybe you give him a day off against a tough lefty. I could see that. But, just sitting him if you're playing against a lefty, I think that's a recipe for disaster long term. So I'm not a fan of that. I detest that idea.
Insane says they should play Chapman, Adames, and Devers every day. I don't care about getting playing time for Casey Schmidt. If he was so good, we wouldn't be trying to replace him. Nobody said he was so good. We're just saying he needs to play, and you need to give guys that are veterans, you need to give them time off because it wears on these guys. They'll stay fresher and they'll be better. If you're going to make a deep run, try to make the playoffs and make a run in the playoffs, you want your guys fresh. Dodger players very fresh when they go to the playoffs because they're not pounding these guys into submission anymore in the regular season because that's not the goal.
Yeah, it's a tough sell with Devers. He played every game last year. He played at 1 extra, 163, and he wants to play every single day. But he gets banged up and he gets hurt, and his back is bothering him, and maybe he could use a day here and there. Now, with Devers, you could at least play him at DH, and he gets half a day's rest. But, all of these guys would benefit with a little bit of time off. It doesn't have to be a whole lot, but a game every couple of weeks, take when you have a day off, you give them another day off, leading up to it or whatever. And then you can build in some rest days into the thing. Cause 162 is a grind. It's guys wear down. And, I think, it's a benefit to the team if they can spell these guys a little bit.
Insane. I know you're young and you think guys can just go, but these guys can benefit from a day off, especially when they're in a long slump. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't play these guys in majority games, but, I'm talking, I think if you play them around 145 games to 150 games, that's not a huge, especially now if they're rocking and rolling and they're playing well and they're healthy, fine, let them keep playing. But if these guys are in slumps or they got nagging injuries, like last year, Chapman's kept taking the skin off of his palm and he was constantly hurt, the hand. And it was like he wasn't doing any good out there.
No. And when you play hurt like that, then you're adjusting your mechanics to compensate for the injury, and it's just it's a spiral. But Devers, you sit him, and it's a big bat out of the lineup, so you don't want to do that too much. But other guys can step up and fill that void, and then it's not like the guy's at home; he's still there on the bench. And if there's a pinch hitting situation, he can come in and try and hit you a home run late in the game. So,
right.
That's, another positive to giving them a day off is you got some big boppers coming in the pinch hitting situation if you need them.
This team has some power. I mean, you look at Devers, he's a legit 35 home run guy. Chapman's a 25 home run guy. Adames is probably 25 to 30. There's three guys right there that you're looking at close to 100 home runs. And then you got Ramos, who's could be close to a 25 home run guy. That's four guys. We haven't even talked about Bryce Eldridge. If he figures things out, I'm not expecting him to hit 30 home runs as a rookie, but I think he's a guy that at some point, if he finds success, he's going to hit 35 to 40 a year.
Sure. Encarnacion has got 6 home runs to add to the count.
Encarnacion, okay. I mean, the guy's got some massive power. He does. I will say that when he hits the ball, it moves. He hits it hard. I mean, he's not going to get the everyday playing time that he thought he was going to get, but I think Casey Schmidt was a 20 home run player playing every day, healthy. That's some sock there. And then you've got Jung-Hoo Lee, who's good. Arise, who's good for 3, and Jung-Hoo's good for 6 or 7. So there's 10 between those two guys. You got to count those 10 between Arise and Lee.
Yeah,
okay?
And Pat Bailey.
Pat Bailey can throw another 7 at you.
Yep. It's adding up.
We got some guys in the 20s, and then we got some guys in the single digits. We have 3 players that are probably single digit guys, home run guys, and that's Bailey,
okay. As long as the single digit people know they're single digit people and they don't try to hit them. Yeah. When Jung-Hoo Lee hits a home run in Yankee Stadium and he's thinking, oh my gosh, I can do that. I'm a home run hitter. And then the first half of his season is just screwed because he's trying to hit a home run every time.
Yeah, you should put him in the home run derby. Right. All right, guys. Just a little talk tonight, Giants baseball. We're going to wrap up here. We're going to catch you guys next Monday night. I'll have Los in here because we're going to have 4. We're going to have Los is a friend of the show over at Pauly Mac Particles. Tony, the producer from KMBR, and Pauly Mac from the morning show, who now has his own show, will be with us Monday night, 8:00. Okay. So I'm going to have him. Those guys will be joining us possibly next week on one of our Tuesday or Thursday shows. Jeff Young may join Dallas and I, and we'll work on some other guests. I don't know if I'll be able to get Casey on him. I kind of feel like I'm getting ready to start, and I don't know if I want to bother him, I try to leave him alone, just let him do his thing. I'm not one of those guys that hounds players, I know what it's like, I appreciate
Plus, he's got to come on and pretend that he's not pissed about losing his job.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, if I talk to him off the record, I could find out. But I wouldn't say.
You'll have to say the right things.
Yeah,
I just want to play, fill whatever role the team needs for me, and do my part to help the team win.
Yeah.
He's like, God damn it.
Yeah. So, but baseball has a funny way of working itself out, guys. Last year, I told Casey, look, I think you're going to get an opportunity. And then the next day, Chapman goes down. I didn't expect that. But then Casey got a shot at third base, was doing great. Remember that streak he had in that 34 games, and he was like the leading hitter on the team. He was smacking the ball and made a couple of errors at third base and cost him a game or two at third base, and people were all over him. And then he won a couple of games with his bat. And but he was then he got hit in the hand, and then it just boom. But yeah, they were all last year. It was like, so he got his opportunity. Hey, could happen again this year. We'll see where things go.
It's a long season.
Yeah.
And people tend to play their part throughout the year without fail.
Yeah. So Insane says Devers will hit 33 homers, Adames 28, Chapman 25, Ramos 22, Eldridge 20, Bader 13, Bailey 8, Arise 5, Lee 7. That's probably about right. That's kind of where we are. I didn't have Chapman. No, yeah, I have Chapman about 25. Adames, I've got him about 27. I can't remember where we were. We did our little deal on it, but that's pretty close. So anyway, guys, appreciate you watching tonight. So we will see you guys on Monday night. Let me get the music going here. Let's try something different tonight, Dallas. What do we want to end up with? Let's just win the battle. What is that one?
All right. Sounds like an epic battle.
I don't know. What the heck? So Monday night, guys, we'll be back. My thoughts on the Jonathan Kuminga trade. Epicur, I thought that was a horrible trade. Horrible trade for the Warriors. Is Kristaps Porzingis ever going to play again? I mean, the guy's missing all the time.
I'm happy about it. I think it's a great move because I don't have to hear them talking about it on KNBR every single day of the year. Kuminga.
Yeah, we don't have to hear
gosh.
And Cyrus
Thank the Lord
cannot
he's
talk
gone.
about Kuminga anymore, right? So anyway, yeah, it is over. So we'll see. Hey, Warriors basketball, it's dying. It's really dying. Haven't even watched. I think I've watched one full game this season. Just lost a lot of interest. It's getting close to the WNBA.
Yeah. Well, they're going to go get Giannis in the offseason and restart the furnace and get it going again.
We'll see. That would be good. All right, guys. Hey, we'll be back here if there's any kind of breaking news, probably not likely. But if there is, we'll be back. And until then, have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday night. Let me get rid of this music here for it. Oh, we'll just let it go. We'll be back Monday night, and Seahawks win 24-21 over the Patriots.
Close one.
Yep, 24-21. You heard it right here. NorCal Sports Network. Have a good night, everybody. Take care. Goodbye!